It is important to note that for every democracy to thrive, the principle of free speech, free movement, as enshrined in the section 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, must be upheld with every single vein in the blood, or every single blood running through the veins of the relevant authorities. It is such a big irony that we have a government in power that benefited tremendously from proceeds of a protest against a type of government which we saw under the democratic battle against the military, and also protest against policies of government like we saw during the Occupy Nigeria protest of 2012. Unfortunately, the same people that benefited from the proceeds of such protest are actually doing everything within their strength to suppress the constitutional right of the people. However, you also need to know that participating in protest goes beyond peaceful walks. It is an avenue for you to have your voices heard by the government, and when you do that, your voices will not be heard when you go on to destroy properties that also belongs to hard-working Nigerians like you. Your voices will not be heard when you go about looting and destroying things that people have labored for their entire lives to own and possess and protect. It is quite unfortunate that the government that we have does not in any way respect all of the promises they made in the build-up to the election. That notwithstanding, we also need to know that government is a continuum. That means once this one is doing its own, the other person will also need to consolidate on what each of the administration previous may have done. Again, we also need to respect that governance is not just about national politics, there's subnational politics. So if your president is not living up to the responsibility as expected in your own decision, you should ask the right questions from your governors. You should ask the right questions from your legislators, your senators, your lawmakers in Abuja, I say, and of course the ones in the state houses of assembly. What happens to your local government chairman? You should ask questions. It's unfortunate, however, that we find ourselves in a democracy that we've used our blood and our sweat to achieve. And down the line, the tenant of such democracies is being put through the stiffest and the toughest of tests. On that note, I welcome you to Make Big Politics, live on Mainland 98.3 FM. 24 hours from now, Nigerians will decide if to continue to live under the burden of leadership that has a lot of semblance of failure to live up to the billings and responsibilities that it is expected of them, to protect the lives and properties of the people that voted them into office, and even the ones that did not vote them into office. That decision will be made tomorrow, and that decision again will have to be made with all sense of responsibility and dignity. If you are making a protest, you're not making a protest against your fellow Nigerian that is also going through the most difficult of times to sustain a business. You're not making a protest against your fellow Nigerian that may have approached the bank to get a loan at an interest rate of 26.3%. You're not making a protest against the person that have collected loans to set up a car showroom that you may want to go on and burn. You're not making a protest against someone that has a retail store that sells gadgets and you decide to loot all of those gadgets. If you're making a protest, you're speaking to the government, and look at what has happened in the last 1 week. We cannot deny the fact that the voice and the echoes of the protest, perhaps the one that had happened very close to us, maybe from Kenya, or perhaps you want to ask about the one that happened in Bangladesh, is making us ask the right questions. Again, you cannot deny the fact that the government have been unrattled. They've been running helter-skelter, peeing in their pants to make sure that some things are being done, not just to suppress or exactly to suppress, but to have a reason to maybe perhaps dialogue with the people. But it's also unfortunate that institutions that are expected to respect and protect the culture of the land have allowed themselves to be embroiled in the tenets of politicization of those cultures. I saw videos from Ikorodu to Iba where traditional rulers or messengers of traditional rulers are threatening the people that are planning to have part of the right that the constitution of the country has given to them. I saw those videos. They said to about protest while Babylon. It is uncalled for, and it is time the government needs to start speaking to the right people. You cannot use violence to suppress the voice of the people. The people have the right to speak. That's why people have the right to ask questions. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was at the forefront of the advocacy for the democracy that we have right now. Many people lost their lives. Many journalists were jailed. Many media houses were closed down. Many people went into exile because of the democracy that we have today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led a protest in 2012, and he gave a speech where he feels like the voice of the people must never be suppressed irrespective of the position of the government in power. Today, spokespersons of the president have constantly attacked the people who are principally demanding what their constitution allows them for. So let's ask questions. And why is the president not speaking to the people? The Nigerian people did not vote for Mr. Bayo Onanuga. Neither did the Nigerian people vote for the people on social media. In February 2023, Nigerians went to the polls to choose their president, duly elected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as such declared by the INEC. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, speak to the people. It is not wrong when a leader comes out to admit that he has done some wrongs and apologize to Nigerians for not living up to the expectations that they have on you. Petrol is 900 naira per liter. I did not read that from anywhere. I bought that on Sunday. How many people would survive on a single tuber of yam of 11,000 naira? The minimum wage cannot buy us a bag of rice. So, the people have the right to ask questions, and that right will be respected. However, when those questions are being asked, the questions should be asked rightly. Welcome to Midweek Politics. We get to do this every Wednesdays, 1 to 3 p.m. and this is not the only space where we allow you to have your voices and your thoughts and expressions shared. We always start from Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. Said Fuad and his league of elite journalists always come around to give you everything you need to know in the world of politics. It's Political Roundtable. Don't miss that for anything in this world. And from every Mondays to Fridays, from 4 to 5:30 p.m., it is the Situation Room. We'll always look at the situation, we break it down to the details, and we'll also allow you to have your thoughts. And hey, we'll always do this every Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. It is called Midweek Politics, and I welcome you. I don't do this alone. I have two gentlemen that understand the business of broadcasting with every fiber of decency and professionalism. There's Victor, and of course, there's Side Forward. You're welcome. Victor, good to have you join us today. It's another Wednesday. It's a good time to talk about politics to the very best. Politics around leadership, politics around governance, politics around accountability, politics around respecting the people that have voted the leaders into office, politics that allows people to have their thoughts, have their fears, and have their minds expressed. Hey, it's another Wednesday. And whether we like it or not, the big story, it is the proposed nationwide protest scheduled for 1st of August 2024. Yesterday, the High Court in Lagos gave that order. You look at what democracy is basically about, Victor, and one of the